Hello students, in this video of ours, we are going to learn about the fourth class of the plant kingdom, that is Gymnosperms. Now this is the class of the plant kingdom where we are finding the vascular tissues, where we are finding the true leaves, stem and roots, and here we are finding seeds as well. But seeds are naked in case of gymnosperms. They are not covered inside the fruit. The ovules are naked and ovules are producing seeds which are naked. So we will study about this class, that is gymnosperms. Sperms are the plants in which the ovules are not enclosed by any ovary wall. Because now when we will do angiosperms, there is ovary, and inside the ovary you will find the ovules. But here in gymnosperms, the ovules are not enclosed by the ovary wall and they remain exposed before and after fertilization. That's why the seeds which are developed after fertilization, they are also not covered. They are naked. Now, if you see the plant body here, gymnosperms include medium-sized trees or tall trees or shrubs. One of the gymnosperms, that is the giant redwood tree, sequoia, is one of the tallest tree species. So they are very tall, they can be very tall, they can be medium-sized, and they can be shrubs. Now, roots are generally tap roots. Roots in pinus, they have the fungal association, mycorrhiza, and in cycas, you will find small specialized roots which are called coralloid roots, because these roots, they are associated with the nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria. So the roots of the gymnosperms, they are in symbiotic association with the fungus in case of pinus, and that association is called mycorrhiza. That structure is called. And cycas, that is another gymnosperms. In cycas, we will find that roots are associated with the nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria, and these specialized roots are called coralloid roots. So this association is symbiotic because nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria is fixing nitrogen for the plant. Similarly, what is fungus doing in mycorrhiza? Fungus is absorbing phosphates and other minerals for the plant. So it is a symbiosis association of the roots of the gymnosperm plants with fungus or with nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria. Now the stem are unbranched in case of cycas, and it can be branched in case of pinus and citrus. Leaves are maybe simple or compound. Simple and compound leaf, you must not be knowing it. Simple is one leaf, and if there is an axis and there are many leaflets, that is called compound leaf. So here you can find compound as well as simple leaves. In cycas, the pinnate leaves persist for a few years. That means in cycas, you will find the leaves for many years. The leaves in gymnosperms are well adapted to withstand extremes of temperature, humidity, and wind. So this is an adaptation in the gymnosperms because of their habitats. So their leaves are very well adapted to withstand extreme temperatures, extreme humidity, and extreme wind. In conifers, the needle-like leaves reduce the surface area. So conifers are present in the deserts. So there you can find the structure of leaf is needle-like, which can withstand the wind currents, and at the same time it will reduce the surface area to prevent the loss of water. At the same time, they are having thick cuticle around the leaf and sunken stomata. because normally the stomata are present on the surface of the leaf for transpiration. But here you will find sunken stomata so as to reduce the water loss by the process of transpiration. Now, development of spores and gametophyte. Now, the gymnosperms, they are producing. Here also the main body is sporophyte. So, the gymnosperms, they are producing spores, the main body that is sporophyte, and they are producing haploid microspores and megaspores by undergoing the meiosis cell division. And spores are produced within a special structure which is called sporangia, and sporangia are borne on sporophylls. So sporophyll are the special leaves which are present, and on them you will find the sporangia. So sporangia is protected by the sporophylls, which are arranged spirally along an axis to form legs or compact strobili or cones. So these sporophytes covering the sporangia forming a compact structure, and this compact structure is called strobili or cones. You must have seen male cones and female cones of gymnosperms. So these cones are the structure actually dried up, which we normally keep for decoration purposes in our house. These are the cones which actually are the sporangia. Now, the strobili bearing microsporophylls are called male strobili. When the microsporophylls are there, that strobili, that cone is male cone. The microspores develop into a male gametophytic generation. Now, this microscope will develop into male gametophyte, which is highly reduced and is coned to only a limited number of cells. That means the male gametophyte is a highly reduced structure, coned structure, and only limited number of cells are present. The reduced male gametophyte is called a pollen grain. That is the male gamete. In females, the cones bearing megasporophylls, because now the leaves, which are big leaves, megasporophylls with ovules or megasporangium, they are forming the macrosporangiate or female strobili or female cone. The megaspore mother cell is differentiated from one of the cells of the nucellus. Now, what is nucellus? Nucellus are the cells which are present inside the sporangium. Now, out of these nucellus cells, some of the nucellus cells, they will get differentiated into megaspore mother cell. Now, this megaspore mother cell will undergo the meiosis cell division to produce megaspores, which are the female gametes. So, the nucellus is protected by envelopes, and the composite structure is called an ovule. So, what is ovule? Ovule is a few layers, few envelopes around it to protect. Inside is a cells. These cells are nucellus. These cells are called nucellus. Now, out of this nucellus cells, few cells will differentiate into megaspore mother cell, and this megaspore mother cells will give rise to undergo the meiosis cell division, and then they will give rise to megaspores. So the megaspore mother cell divides meiotically to form 4 megaspores, because whenever there is meiosis cell division from one parent cell, you are getting 4 daughter cells. So here also the megaspore mother cell is undergoing the meiosis cell division, and it is forming 4 megaspores. One of the megaspore enclosed within the megasporangium develops into multicellular female gametophyte that bears 2 or more Archigonia or female sex organs. Now, all the megaspores will not develop, only one will develop, and this megaspore will enclose the megasporangium, that is the nucellus, and it will develop into the multicellular female gametophyte. Now, this multicellular female gametophyte will bear two or more archigonia. What are archigonia? Archigonias are the female sex organs. Now, the multicellular female gametophyte is also retained within megasporangium. So, this is also the evolution, that the female gametocytes is remaining inside the megasporangium only. Megasporangium. The male and female cones or strobili may be born on the same tree. Same tree means bisexual. The male and female organs are present on the same plant. Example is pinus, or they can be on different trees. For male there is a different plant, and for female there is a different plant, and that is called unisexual or dioecious. An example is cypress. And when they are present on the same tree, then it is called bisexual or monoecious. In gymnosperms, the male and female gametophyte do not have an independent free living existence. So that means here the gametophyte is not free living. Gametophyte is inside the sporangia only. So gametophytic stage is completed inside the sporophytic stage, inside the sporangia, and they remain within the sporangia on the sporophyte. So main plant is one only. It is bearing the cones, the sporangias, and inside the sporangia, the female gametophytes and male gametophytes will be there. There is no free living stage or independent stage for gametophytes in gymnosperms. Now, pollination is by air. The pollen grains develop, the pollen grain will reach the female sporangium, that is the female cone, archigonium, and the pollen grain develop pollen tube on opening of ovule to carry the male gametes. So the pollen tube, pollen grain is there. When the pollen grain will germinate, it will form a pollen tube, and this pollen tube will carry the male gametes into the archigonia. So where is archigonia? Archigonia is present in ovules. Now, following fertilization, zygote will develop. Zygote is the result of fusion of male gamete and female gamete, that is fertilization. So after fertilization, zygote will develop, and zygote will develop into embryo, and this embryo, the ovules into the seed. The ovule will get converted into seed, and that zygote is present inside the seed. But here in gymnosperms, these seeds are not covered. These seeds are naked. Now see the diagram of this. This is cycas, where you will see the leaves. The stem is not branched. And this is pinus. Pinus, you will see the branched stems and the leaves. And this is zinco. So these are the examples of gymnosperms.